Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here with some beer koozies. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, check it out. SlayLife and Miss Anna Storm, who is sitting here across from me. She also gave me some cool ass glasses.
Put Anna Storm, put Anna Storm on your face. Summer 2021.
I just put Anna Storm on my face. If you guys are watching, I got some glasses on. We're stunting out here. You guys may be wondering who Anna Storm is. She is a social media influencer and pop star. I'm happy to catch her while she is visiting Vegas from her LA destination of doing everything a wonderful pop star would do. So, Anna, thanks for coming on.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Jake. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, it's doing this podcast really opens my eyes to the amount of people that exist within Vegas, whether they live here, they're traveling through here. But Vegas is just like this weird, diverse concoction of not just from a cultural aspect, but from a professional aspect as well.
Oh, definitely.
As we were walking up here, you mentioned that you have a place here, you have a place in LA, but you exist in LA more. So what do you generally come down here for Vegas for?
So when I'm in Vegas, mostly the last time I was in Vegas was a month ago, and I was here for a week. I attended the Action on Film Festival and Award Show and Red Carpet. My first film role was for a movie called Anna Nicole about Anna Nicole Smith, and the director wanted me to go to this film festival and award show to kind of accept any awards that she got because she's out of the country. So that was the last time I was in Vegas was that. And sometimes I'll come because I have a lot of friends here. Well, not a lot of friends, more in LA, but like sometimes I'll visit and we'll go to like a pool party or something. And, so time to time I come back here, but not as often as I'm in California or other places. I travel a lot, so.
We'd tried to schedule this like 3 separate times, and our schedule just kept conflicting. Things kept popping up on both sides.
I wanted to like apologize about that too. Like I was like, wait, was this the third time?
That's okay. That's kind of what happens when you're in the world of social media and entertainment, is that events just pop up left and right, and you can't really predict them.
You can't predict. And I was trying to, because I have friends that are in the industry, and then I have friends that are just like 9 to 5, like, just the typical path. And I try to explain to them, I'm like, this popped up, like it's a different industry than you're in. Like shit pops up all the time, Yeah.
And for some of these events you don't want to attend, but you kind of just have to show face, and you either look at it as an opportunity to network or an opportunity to market yourself.
That's exactly what you have to look at it as. I mean, I feel like every day you have to almost be like marketing yourself. I feel like I stepped outside and I feel like I have to, be me.
And marketing yourself is a dual-pronged approach. You either market yourself digitally, which is through social media, which some people love, some people hate. For me, kind of in the middle. But then you also have to market yourself and do a lot of groundwork. When I first started this podcast, I didn't realize that a lot of the networking wasn't actually on the podcast. It was a lot of the groundwork of going and taking lunches or going and doing phone calls, the behind the scenes stuff. You don't realize about it because online they only show the lavish parts. And so it makes you think, this is easy.
Part. Exactly. So like everyone that's not in the industry, they see it and they're like, oh, they get to go do this and they get to go do that. And it's like, you have no idea like how many like emails I was reading and like, shit I was planning before this actually happened.
So tell me a little bit about Anna Storm. Tell me a little bit about your childhood, your youth, and growing up. What kind of person was Anna Storm?
Yeah. So Anna Storm is Mother Nature's worst nightmare. Better grab your umbrellas. No. So I grew up in a very small, preppy, homogenous town in Connecticut called Weston. And, I was always kind of like pretty eccentric, like kind of outside the box. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was like bullied a lot. I actually got like chased with metal bats to my home. I still don't know why, because people were like, did you like steal some bitch's boyfriend? I'm like, no, like I didn't even have boyfriends back then because I was such a nerd.
It's just the delinquent nature of being a young kid.
And I was just like very, like everyone was very preppy, like collars popped up and all like perfect. And I was like a little bit like, edgier and stuff. So I just really didn't fit in. And, since I was bullied and I was young, like I was a little insecure. And so Anna Storm kind of, I guess that became kind of like my social media persona. And that kind of grew out of hanging out in New Jersey for a long time. I didn't have any friends in Connecticut, but then I really gravitated towards like the Guido, like meathead scene in New Jersey. So I would go, once I was able to go, I would go to like the Jersey Shore every weekend.
You're hanging down in AC?
Yeah. Oh my God. And last time I was back east, in June, we went to AC. All my friends, like huge meatheads. Like there was like a joke that I wouldn't date a guy if like he didn't have like 20-inch biceps at least. Like 20 inches or get the fuck out. But so I used to be super Guido, like the black hair, really tan. And I think I developed my confidence actually through hanging out with those people, like my I don't give a fuck attitude. And although I'm like less Guido now, I think it has stayed with me like to this day.
You have to be strong-willed, especially in the entertainment industry, because if not, you'll be pushed around.
Oh,
I experienced that a ton within just the Las Vegas industry, which is completely different, yet somewhat similar to the entertainment industry in Hollywood. It's becoming more glamorized, Vegas is, but Hollywood is the premier area to be an influencer, but also much tougher to break into.
Yeah.
How did you find your way to get into there?
It's interesting. So I feel like I just found my way. First of all, I was living in LA and I used to be really into bodybuilding. I think that goes along with the whole, Guido thing. I don't work out anymore, but like I used to be really into it. So one of my friends in fitness knew I was really into singing and music growing up, and she wanted to link me up with her friend who is a big producer. His name's Josh Stevens, and he's done like all my stuff. He's recorded my music videos, and he toured with LMFAO and wrote and produced all of their stuff, and he's won a lot of Grammys. So she connected me with him, and that's how I kind of started, I guess, like pursuing entertainment. And he's helped me a lot, like develop my brand and just really bouncing ideas off each other. We talk almost every day, and we've created a lot of good content together. So it was first through meeting him, and then I've just met so many people, just I feel like once you kind of have a brand and once you have your presence, it's really not like it kind of just comes. Like you obviously have to put in the work, but you'll find like you'll meet celebrities. I know tons, so it's like it's not really that hard.
I've heard you have to live out in LA for almost 10 years before you finally make it into the industry. Do you feel the same about that?
No, I do not. And the reason I don't feel that way is also because of social media. You don't even have to freaking live in LA to make it in Hollywood, because literally if you're popping on social media, you can have like a bigger audience than people that like live in Hollywood that don't have any brand or didn't put any work into their social. You know what I mean? Like that's not the way it is anymore.
It's true. I think Hollywood's kind of becoming severed now because of social media, that a lot of these TikTok influencers or Instagram influencers or from any social media platform in general have the potential to be even more popular than what Hollywood was traditionally known for.
That's what I was like thinking. I'm like, literally, like some influencers on various platforms like are more technically famous with internet clout than like these traditional celebrities.
Yeah. Especially it's so funny because I'm also a big crypto bug, and
nice.
I live on Twitter a lot, and a bunch of these Twitter accounts have 50 or 500,000 to 1 million followers, and they're all like anonymous accounts, and they're still popular.
Yeah. But they're not like,
but they're not up front and center. So it shows that you don't even, you don't have to be like the traditional Hollywood actor where you're in front of a screen constantly. As long as your message is portrayed in some sort of manner that attracts others, then you can grow an audience pretty quickly.
And you can, there's so many ways to, I feel like, monetize things nowadays. Like it used to be when there were only the traditional outlets, like the traditional Hollywood outlets, like there's really just one way. Now it's like some of these influencers are making way more money than the celebrities.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
It's actually such a funny world. That's why I'm like, it doesn't take 10 years to make it. It doesn't. Not anymore.
So before you came on, you sent me this music video that you'd been working on.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I loved it.
Oh, thanks.
I know this isn't your first music video because I've seen a few beforehand.
Yeah.
When you first moved out to LA, was your inspiration always to be a singer or a pop artist and create a music video, or did that kind of stumble into your lap?
Yeah, so I always wanted to be a pop artist. That was like primarily what I always wanted to be. It was just kind of, but it was something that like my dad was cool with it, but my mom was kind of like, parents are always kind of like, if you want to do something like that, especially coming from like a conservative, like Connecticut, Jewish strict background.
I'm Jewish too.
Oh, cool. I thought maybe you were, but that's awesome. Tribe vibes.
Tribe vibes. Yep. I got a few Jewish stars hanging up behind you too. I got my bar mitzvah certificate hanging on the wall.
Dope.
Love it. Jews run entertainment.
They did. Jews definitely run entertainment. So it was always something I wanted to do. I just didn't really know how to go about it. And I didn't know how to have like, the branding. And so Josh Stevens, the producer, he really helped me with that. Like he helped to kind of put my visions into reality, and just because he understood it and understands it way more than I did. And I've learned a lot from him. So it was something I always wanted to do. It's just, I didn't know like the right way to do it so that industry people pay attention. And so that like other artists that are like more famous than you pay attention. Cause there is a way, like you can't just like, you do have to kind of like invest in yourself and like hustle, because if you put together like something that looks like it was thrown together in like no time and it looks like shit, no one's going to pay attention to you.
Mm-hmm. But although on the other side as well, if you are just beginning your journey, it's okay to be vulnerable and not put out the best content because your skills aren't perfected yet.
That is completely true. Like you don't have to put out something that like looks like it's a $100,000 music video.
Yeah, and that's like a mental wall that a lot of people put up because you think that you have to put out something perfect, when in reality nobody does.
No one does, but you at the same time you can't like think, oh, like I'm gonna impress like some label people or some like more famous artists that maybe would want to collaborate with me by putting out something that isn't aesthetically pleasing at all,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. So how would you describe your style of artistry?
So I would describe my style of artistry as very like infectious, in your face, very like upbeat dance pop, a lot of it. Some of it is like mixed with rap. Like the 3 singles I have out, Confident, Red Bottoms and Sandy Beaches, and Versace Shade they all kind of like alpha female, like self-empowerment, just like SlayLife, which is my motto, which is what I say at the end of like all my little douchey like IG story posts. But it resonates with people. It kind of sounds like funny, whatever. Which is on the beer koozies. So, I would describe my music as just being very fearless and like fierce and fun and just like uplifting. That's like what I'm about, is just kind of trying to get people to realize their self-worth, because I know growing up, like being bullied and just being different, like I wish that I had someone that would like, uplift me and help me to realize my self-worth. And now that I have realized that, I feel like it's kind of like partly my purpose as an artist to help other people and like my fans realize that.
Yeah, you want to give back, especially whenever you have the opportunity. I feel the same exact way about it. But for some, you mentioned you had 3 singles. Mm-hmm. Do all of these songs draw inspiration from a specific moment in your life, or maybe some sort of experience, or do they just those ideas just come about for the songs? Yeah.
So my first single, Confident, that one was really the story of it makes mention to how I was bullied and, how people used to tease me at lunch. And then, the chorus is like, I'm loving myself. I am who I am. Blame nobody else. Like, I'm what confidence is. Finding myself was the true gift from within. So that really was like the song that was about like how I developed into who I am today, like through my like tribulations, like developed into Anna Storm. And, my second song, Red Bottoms and Sandy Beaches, is kind of, I'm rapping the verses and the choruses. I don't need nobody else. I'll do better by myself. It's also like a self-empowerment. And, the verses, I'm kind of like, I'm so sexy. Like I'm kind of douchey, like, but that's me. That's like the Anna Storm brand. Like, I'll be like fucking like in my bikini, like ripped abs, just eating pizza, being like, fuck all you. Like, that's me. Like, I'm just in your face and I don't really need anyone else. And that's, that's, I think, something that a lot of people like and want to aspire to be like too, is like more like independent and fierce and, not giving a fuck about what other people think. And then Versace Shade, my third single, my newest single, which the video that you liked with the dancing trippy cats, that was really just kind of, I don't know, it's like new wave, like dance pop song. And I just wanted something with some like good summer vibes. And I do actually have a couple of different versions of that song that are going to be coming out. One is the remix with rapper Lady Luck. She's from New York. She has a very big fan base. She was like signed to Def Jam and she's pretty well known. And then I have another version, which is a grunge version. It's a live acoustic, like kind of like MTV Unplugged style performance of Versace Shade with Wes Scantlin from Puddle of Mud. So I have like, a lot of stuff. Even though the first Versace Shade song is out, I have like 2 additional versions to look forward to.
From the way that I see where the creative economy is growing or society's kind of migrating, it's really important to collab with individuals when you're in the attention economy. Because when you put 2 people who grab attention together, it's amplified.
It is. Like it's so important. And even if you're like a pop artist, like I'm like open to collaborating with artists from way different genres. I mean, collaborating with someone who's basically a grunge artist, that's like, I'm really excited for people to hear the song and see the song because it's so different. So I'm down to collaborate with whoever. I don't care what genre you're in. You could be country. I don't care.
That's the fun. I feel like that's where the magic is kind of made too. When you find 2 people from opposite sides of the spectrum or just completely different spectrums collabing together, sometimes it takes a second to become a little bit more familiar. Similar with just conversation, right? 2 people who are just completely different industries that have a conversation and takes maybe 15 to 20 minutes to try to find some common ground before you really get into like the root of everything.
Definitely. No, I completely agree.
How would you describe your creative process?
So my creative process for writing a song, usually I'll have like some kind of themes that I want to go with. It won't be like a strict theme, but it'll be like, oh, I want to write a song about this or about a club song about, like everyone's looking at me. I'll have something like loosely in my head. And first, what I do, I always have to come up with melody first. And of course, I can't write a song unless I have the instrumental. So I don't produce or anything, but obviously I have, my producer. Tons of different instrumentals that like will get sent to me. And so I have the instrumental, then I will go and come up with the melody. I usually just record it as a voice memo on my phone just so I won't forget it, because that's one thing with the creative process, especially when you are writing music, you'll have like such a good idea. And if you don't get it down in like the first second, you'll forget it and you'll be like, what the fuck was that? So definitely the melody first, then I will go and try to write some lyrics. So that's basically how it goes for me. And I don't spend like tons of time like reworking everything either. Maybe I'll go through like a couple times, but usually like my initial thoughts are usually what I feel like is the best.
I've never written a song before. I have, when I was in college, written a variation of a song, a parody that I had to sing in front of an audience, which was very bad. But as I was writing it, I didn't understand how to write lyrics because there's certain components to it. Does it have to rhyme? Is everything in sync? Does it make sense? What do you think about the process of writing a song?
So I think it's so subjective, honestly. Like I personally like to rhyme all the time. Like I'm obsessed with rhyming, like my rhyming dictionary, it's just my thing. But there's no like rule that it has to rhyme. You don't have to rhyme. You could do half rhymes. You could do like almost rhymes. Like, it can be anything. Like nowadays, just the way that some people like, art, like physical art, you can just splatter something on a wall and it's magnificent.
Lil Wayne used to rhyme the same word with the same word.
Exactly. So you can do that. Like I think that's the beauty of art. There's no rules. Like you make up your own rules. And if it has a message and it like impacts people and resonates with people, like that's what you want.
So why do you think some art, or we'll just say music in this context, why do you think some resonates with others so much more than maybe some other songs or artists?
Okay, so I think first that has to do a lot with maybe how much people are paying attention to the artist too, fame level, like you could have someone that like they have like amazing songs and they're a great singer, but their branding just isn't there. Like they don't really have like that like magnetic kind of thing that makes people want to pay attention to them. So even though their music is great, no one's paying attention. Mm-hmm. They don't have like that it factor, shall we say, or whatever. And they just didn't put in the work to kind of brand themselves and differentiate themselves. And then also I feel like some music resonates with some people more than others just because, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it depends on like the generation you're going for, and like who you're targeting, you have to like, you should know your demographics. Definitely. I think that's important, like as an artist and as a business in general, an entrepreneur or whatever. So I think that's why some resonates.
So would you say marketing is probably the biggest hurdle that most artists have to face?
Yes, because writing records, easy as fuck. It's easy. Like I have so many records that, as an artist, like you always keep like an arsenal of records, like, and sometimes artists won't release what become their biggest hits they might have finished it like 10 years ago and they just hold on. That's very common. So everyone's always holding on to stuff. It's like so easy to stockpile records. That's the easy part. The hard part is like really the everyday, like engaging, like building, engaging your audience on social media, like marketing, like, like all the groundwork you were talking. That's the hard part.
It is. It's everyday in and out grind. It becomes tiresome.
It's very tiresome. Like I just want to like sleep and freaking,
Right. Once I finally transitioned off of renting my time out through a labor intensive job and started living life on my own terms, and then interacting with creatively through conversation and then contextually with ideation formation and things like that, you realize that your mental capacity drains really fast.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
And so what society may see or may view you as somebody who's maybe lazy or isn't putting much effort in, it tends to drain much faster.
Way faster. Way faster.
So do you have any other intentions to brand outside of singing and within the music industry?
Yeah, I mean, as far as outside of singing, I mean, I do like rap a little bit and I have, some collabs with rap. So I would like to get like a little bit more into that, maybe not like, super like battle rap, but that, as far as like other things I'm open to a lot of different things. I would like to definitely, maybe get on like an MTV reality show. That everyone always says I should, because, I usually like my IG stories and why people pay attention to me is because I'm kind of like in your face and like over the top. So I think that would be like perfect for a reality show.
Have you ever been have you ever been in an acting role?
I mean, I just, my first acting role in that movie, Anna Nicole, I actually won an award for Best Supporting Actress from the Royal Wolf Film Festival.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it's so funny. Like, I never really even tried to be in acting. It's a director, Sherry Wang, she reached out to me. I get a lot of people like DM because I'm popular on Instagram. So I get people like that'll DM me and she DM'd me asking if, I'd be interested in filling in for a role for her movie based on the life of Anna Nicole Smith. And literally I had to like learn there were only like 15 lines maybe, but I had to learn like 15 lines in the morning. I didn't even know, it was so last minute. I was like standing in for someone and, I played the doctor, Anna Nicole's doctor. So I was like, oh my God, like I have to learn all. And because I was never intending to act. And then, so, I mean, I guess I did well because, she's always submitting to various film festivals and then she told me that I won an award. And I'm like, what? For this?
You specifically did?
Yeah. I won Best Supporting Actress for this one like little film festival, the Royal Wolf Film Festival.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, so thank you. I was like, oh shit, I'm like an actor. I didn't even like try to be an actor. And so then after that, I'm like, I guess I should make an IMDb page now that I've like won this award and done this.
I don't know. Kind of famous, hair flip.
I'm like kind of famous, I guess. I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm Insta famous. And then, so because of that, that's why I went to the Action on Film Festival in Vegas a month ago because she had a couple projects that were in that festival and she couldn't attend and she asked me if I would go. So I went to that and then I ended up getting my second film role from that festival. I can't say the name. Actually, maybe I can say the name. I'm going to say the name. The project, I just filmed it last week.
The projects?
It's the project. I'm going to say the name. The working title is Breathtaking Beauty. Not done filming, but I'm very excited about my role. My role in the film is a bitchy, like Hollywood girl at the modeling agency that antagonizes the lead character. And there's actually a fight scene. So it's really exciting.
And you have more than 15 lines in this one?
No, about the same. I don't really care. It's fine.
Supporting role. I mean, just winning an award and being in a movie, it gives you motivation to pursue other things, which then expand your
I was like, I
horizon.
never wanted to be like that like, because we were talking about before, like that cliche person. I'm an actor. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not going to ever say I'm an actor, but whatever. If I get movie roles, which I have been getting, I'll take them.
And there's so many movie roles now with the rise of streaming and Netflix and Hulu, Amazon Prime. Seems like there's a new service that pops up every day.
There's so many more like jobs in the acting field now. I was trying to explain to people because people will be like, oh, like, is this movie like gonna be like a blockbuster? It's like people aren't even going to the movie theaters.
Exactly.
Like it's a lot of this stuff, like people are paying attention to streaming. So getting Netflix roles, getting any kind of streaming like movie role is way more relevant these days.
And there's so many people who have seen everything on Netflix, everything on Hulu. And somebody like me, I go into Amazon Prime and I just dive into like the deepest and most random movies just to find something interesting that'll catch my eye.
And that's what and that's actually, the movie I was in is on Amazon Prime. Yeah, the Anna Nicole movie. But so the acting thing just kind of like came about and I'm just kind of, going to continue because, at the film festival, I met a lot of people and a lot of people interested in working with me. So why not? I mean, acting itself, like memorizing lines isn't really hard. Delivery is a little harder, but it's still not difficult,
So is the difficult part channeling specific emotions or the way that they want you to portray a character?
I think it's Yeah, channeling specific emotions, because I feel like when you're reading the script, you don't really 100% know how the director is like really visualizes you to be delivering those lines. And so it really helps for like, before the movie I was filming last week, we got together, the director and I, and we were just she was telling me exactly how she wanted it to be delivered. And that was a little different than what I initially thought from reading the script. So it's always kind of like hard because like, the director usually has like a vision of something and you want to just make sure that you're executing that. Yeah.
You're like, sorry, don't fire me. I want to be a part of this.
No, because I'm like, okay, like I know I'm supposed to be super bitchy right now. Like, but do you want me to deliver it like condescend? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just, and that's, I guess, probably the hardest part, but acting in itself, like, I don't think is like, super, super difficult. And I think that actually the hardest part of filming a movie is like, you don't realize like a 2-minute scene to shoot when you're shooting a movie ends up being like 2 hours to get down because you have to do all the different points of view. Like, some people are messing up on their lines. And so, that takes a long time.
Make up the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've learned that, especially doing my own content on YouTube as well. I do speeches and I've been branching out and doing things outside of podcasting. And you don't realize how much really gets cut down. I was on this blind date reality show.
Were you really?
I had it's maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, awesome.
The blind date itself was about 2 hours and they chopped it down to like 7 minutes. And I was like, they completely cut out the entire context of the date.
They probably like cut out all
it's how they want to portray it.
It's how they want to like.
It's how they want. Yeah, how they want to make it look.
What show was it?
So there's a YouTube channel called Truly TV, and the company's called Barcross Studios. They're like the #1 Snapchat content producer, #2 Facebook. They have like 9 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. And they just reached out to me and said, hey, we found your profile on Instagram and we're looking for an entrepreneur to be on this blind date reality show. Would you be interested? And I'd never done anything like it. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll try it out. It's the same thing of like taking an acting role, right?
Yeah,
I never planned to be on a reality show, but the opportunity was presented. And so it's like, why not try it? Why not try it? Yeah, you get some exposure, you add some new members to your audience, to your community, but you also learn. Like I learned what goes on the back end, right? When we're there recording, what's actually real, what isn't real.
A lot of things are not real.
What's planned? Yeah, what's planned? How many videographers are there? I have to say, being on a blind date on a patio where there was like 30 or 40 other people just randomly eating their lunch was a little interesting. It was a little different because everyone's like watching you. They're like, why are all these cameras here? What's going on here? Is this person famous? Do I know them?
Oh yeah, that's
Do I take pictures?
Yeah.
It's what everyone wants because if it's a famous person, they know, if I get a picture with this person, I'm going to get so many likes.
Yeah, they're like, I'm just doing it for the gram. Like, yeah.
That's always how it is. How would you describe your social media community?
I would say my social media community, I call my fans stormtroopers. And so like at the beginning of my videos, like people always make fun of me. Like my friends are like, you're so fucking corny. Like I'll be like, hey, stormtroopers. And I always have so much energy. That's another thing. Like people are like, do you like fucking sleep? Like you'll be like at 6 a.m. Hey, stormtroopers. Like,
well, high energy is captivating.
Yeah, I think that's what people like because I'm always like just having fun. Like I'll just, in my videos, like my stuff, like I'll just be like in bed with my sunglasses on, just maybe eating pizza, just ready to just like take over. Like I'll glance, like shit that doesn't really make sense, but I think it like really makes people like happy because a lot of the time, like people, you don't know what people are going through on a daily basis. And I know like a lot of my fans, like they've reached out to me and said like I like inspired them to, I don't know, like be the best version of themselves and to just like keep on going. And I actually met one of my fans a couple weeks ago. This 14-year-old girl, I was at like someone's house and she like got starstruck over me because she's been like following me for a while and like listening to my music, and it was her birthday and I gave her some merch and like her mom like told me I like made her birthday, and it was cute. And then I like shouted her out on social media and stuff. So that like felt good. It feels good to really like see that you're making like an impact.
Those are the truly gratifying moments.
It
They
really
could be
is.
on the most minuscule scale as well. It doesn't have to be an impact of thousands or tens of thousands of people at one time. It could just be one person of you changing their day, changing their perspective, changing their actions.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. It's like those moments cumulatively, that, adds up to the thousands of people. Where do you think, people start somewhere,
I had a popular podcaster on here at some point last year, and he told me a line that stuck with me, and it's not just pertinent to podcasting, but I asked him, I said, how do you build an audience? How do you build a community around you? Because those who succeed in the future are going to be those who build a firm community around them.
Yeah.
And he said, so simply, one at a time. And I was like,
it's true.
It's true. He's like, you have to take when you're first starting, take any phone call, take any Zoom call, go to any lunch, hear what anybody has to say, respond to everybody online. And then over time, when you're too busy, then you don't have to respond to anyone and they get it. But if you're not large enough to where you can respond to everybody and hear people out and take their opinion, take their recommendations, their referrals, then do it. That's how you build a successful community.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're getting there though, right?
Yeah.
I know you have a large following on Instagram. Do you post on any other social media accounts, or do you?
Yeah, so I use my Facebook, www.facebook.com/AnnaStorm/SlayLife. I post on TikTok from time to time. I actually, as an influencer, I also get like hired by companies to like make ad content for them. So, yesterday I had to make a couple TikToks like for different apps that they wanted me to do them for. So, I use that. I mean, I have a YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber like at all. Obviously I have my music like on all the streaming sites, Spotify, Tidal, all that.
I had a gentleman on here recently. His name is Blake Wynn, and he runs an influencer marketing business out here. And he was kind of enlightening me on how everything works back there. And what took me away was like the creativity that goes into some of these ad campaigns when they partner with influencers, and how they curate it to not look as sales and pitchy, like a used car salesman,
exactly.
And they want it to be really organic and pop up, and
they want it to be really creative. Like whenever I get like my assignments, they're just like, as long as you kind of like mention like the app or our client or whatever, but like make it like as out of the box.
You don't want it to be like robotic.
No,
like, hey, this is Anna, and this is deodorant or mouthwash or whatever.
I think yesterday I had to do something for some like a money managing app. And I barely mentioned most of it was just me like being creative and silly, because that's what they want,
For those who are listening and maybe are in the beginning stages of their journey and they want to try to penetrate the entertainment market somehow, would you have any sort of advice for those people?
Yeah. So I think the biggest piece of advice I would have is, of course, rejection is a huge thing in the entertainment industry, and you really have to have like thick skin. Like, don't listen to, because a lot of times at the beginning of your journey, you're going to, especially probably your parents are going to be like doubting you 110%, even like your close friends. Like I feel like I've lost a lot of close friends, like over like jealousy, which maybe they were never my friends to begin with, or, seeing you like build your brand and be more successful. And then they're just settled for, their existence, and they're not pursuing what they really want. And so you're going to get a lot of haters, a lot of people, as you grow, just paying attention, criticizing you, you're going to think you landed something, but you didn't. But then there's going to be something else that you landed that's probably even better, that's going to open more doors. So you really have to have like thick skin and just believe in yourself and like keep on going.
Consistency, and curiosity are like my two main properties that I think you need to have and able to flourish in some sort of industry.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's tough though, because you do receive a lot of failures, you receive a lot of no's, or just those that just don't respond. And sometimes it's not because they don't want to acknowledge you or engage with you. It's just, they're just too busy.
Yeah, that too. I mean, things do pile up. I remember recently, because, you know, things have been like opening more as far as the entertainment world goes. It's just like, there was like 1 week recently that I just had so much shit and I just wasn't like really responding to anyone unless they were like, you know, in my industry. Like, so I wasn't responding to my friends and like, I had to explain to them, like, I'm just all over the place, you know?
Yeah. You have to differentiate yourself somehow. And a way that I've noticed some people in the entertainment, movie, whichever industry, social media, is they've all begun to move out here into Vegas. It's so strange.
There's been quite a few that have moved from, you know, California to Vegas because obviously it's a lot cheaper. And like we were saying before, you don't need to live in LA necessarily anymore just because of social media and the way it's kind of made things different.
Yeah. So why do you keep a home out here in Las Vegas?
Actually, so the reason I really did is I moved to Las Vegas, or I got a place out here, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have. At the time, I was hosting at Cat's Meow for a little bit. It's downtown. And then, you know, and then quarantine hit, and then I was spending more time in Cali, and I'm like, I'll just keep my Vegas place because, you know, I don't know if you know, my team, like my producer and like my creative team, like they, we're talking about doing like, you know, potential like tour and then, you know, some venues in Vegas. So I figured I'd just keep my Vegas place just so that I would have it. You know, it's like, it's cheap having a place out here anyway. And it's like, it's a good thing because if I'm going to have to do like shows out here, it might as well just keep it. Whatever. Place to store all my clothes.
It's central to everything.
It's central to everything. And it's like, I can't like, I'm not going to like get rid of my place now because it's like, it's not like it's like a huge burden, you know?
Wow. So you were hosting at Cat's Meow prior to the pandemic and then you dove into the singing, the music and movie industry afterwards, or were you kind of doing both?
So I was starting to do it. Like I was recording, I would be here and then I was going to LA to, you know, go to studio sessions and shoot music videos and this and that. And that was while I was hosting at Cat's Meow and you know, still technically, you know, I haven't really been back to Cat's. I've been so busy like doing stuff and you know, I love Cat's Meow. I haven't been back and I don't know if I'll be able to, but you know.
Well, now you're living your life on your own terms.
Exactly. And that's the way I am. I like can't be, I'm like such a, it's so funny. People are always like, wait, where are you right now? That's like the main question. Like even like, you know, some guys I've dated, they'll be like, where are you right now? Like, because people just know that about me. Like, I'm always on the go. Like, I get bored so easily. Yeah,
you don't want to be tied down.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I mean, I just like adventurous. Like, I love experiencing life. I love traveling. Like, literally. Okay, in the past month, yeah. Well, obviously, California. Maybe the past month and a half. So, and for a week, I was in Oklahoma. Like the most random place
for work or for pleasure?
I mean, it was to go see Puddle of Mud show out there. It was at the like Redneck, Oklahoma, and you know I made sure to get my little redneck outfit on. But it was not really redneck; it was like bougie redneck. But you know, it was such a different cultural experience, you know, being there. And that's what I love. Like I love moments. And then I was given all the rednecks my merch and we were singing together and you know, it's cool. I love that shit. Like I'm just like the type of person that I could just walk into like you pick any city in the country. I'll just walk in there and I'll make friends with everyone.
That's how you have to be. You have to be vibrant and that's your personality, right? Vibrant, loud, high energy.
Yes.
Tell me the story behind hashtag SlayLife. I feel like we've been circling around this for a little bit, and you've been kind of leaning into it, but now I have to know.
Okay, hashtag SlayLife. Funny enough, so when I first moved out west, I moved from Connecticut to Scottsdale, Arizona. So random. I moved like with my boyfriend at the time. I think we broke up after like 4 months, but so that obviously was a very successful relationship, just like all my others. No, just kidding. But yeah, so when I was in Arizona, I was like wasted at this club in Scottsdale one night, and I was posting some picture to like Instagram, and I don't know why. I was just like, at the time, slay like happened to be one of those slang terms that was like really popular. And I remember like my friends and I, we would always life. And that's what a lot of people life the end of everything. So I was just like, okay, in my wasted mind, I was just like, hashtag SlayLife. That's catchy. And then I just started fucking like using it. And then I just was like, maybe this should just like be like my motto, like SlayLife. And then I was like, oh, it could like be like, I just kill shit like all day, every day, 365, 24/7. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say. I SlayLife. And when people, it's so funny, like people will like ask me what I do. And sometimes if I just don't feel like answering and being specific, because, people can get nosy with shit, I'll be like, I SlayLife. I'm a professional slayer. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's like hashtag Slay Queen.
So yes. So Slay Queen. Yes. I'm a Slay Queen. Yeah. And I'm also a pizza queen. I just did a radio interview, and like we spent a good segment like talking about how, and the host couldn't believe that. And when I was in Arizona, I actually won a pizza eating competition.
How much pizza did you eat?
So it was a 33-inch pizza with 4 toppings, and I had to eat it in an hour.
You ate the whole thing?
Yes.
Just you?
Just me.
I'm going to have to introduce you to Derek, who I had on the podcast. He's the number 21 ranked competitive eater in the world.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've done 2 food challenges with him so far.
Have you really? How did you do?
I did a 4-pound burrito, which I completed and hated myself next day.
Holy I could not do a 4. That's insane.
And then the second one we did was a spicy challenge. It was spicy poke, which was infused with Carolina Reaper extract and ghost peppers.
Holy shit.
And it was at this place called Fluff Ice, and you had 5 minutes to eat it, and then 2 minutes and 2 seconds of afterburn with no water.
Oh my God.
And I have to say, the eating it wasn't tough because I like spicy food. It was the ensuing 8 hours where I felt like my stomach was melting. That was painful. We went to go get drinks afterwards, and just walking across the casino was painful. I felt like I needed a walker with the little tennis balls at the bottom.
I wouldn't be able to fucking do it. That's insane.
So you'd say that you as a competitive eater is more about the consumption, or just because you are a big fan of pizza?
I'm a huge pizza fan. Another hashtag I like to use that I came up with is hashtag carb slut. I'll do anything for carbs.
I do agree though. I love me some carbs, but man, I put on weight really fast.
Really? You look super lean. You look like you would just like stay lean.
I wish. Yeah. I was bigger when I was younger and then lost a bunch of weight.
That's surprising to me. You just like look like you'd be skinny all the time.
I do follow and abide by intermittent fasting for the most part. Unless I'm on vacation, then that kind of goes out the window.
Yeah. When you're on vacation, you gotta slay. That's why it's slaycation.
Yeah. But generally I do like a 16 to 18 hour fast every day.
Wow, that's pretty self-disciplined. I don't know if I
go into every interview fasted state. So right now I'm probably in a 14 or 15 hours. So I usually eat afterwards. I feel like I have more clarity and more creativity when I'm not satiated and
Actually,
full.
You're right about that, because sometimes when you're full, you're just like sluggish and your mind's like kind of cloudy, like when you got that carb coma.
It's like after sushi and you just want to go to bed.
Yes. I know. Oh my God.
But
for real.
That's why I try to stave off of sushi every once in a while.
Is that your favorite food?
Yes. Sushi is definitely one of my favorites, but I try to do it maybe once a month, once every other month, because I could probably eat it every day, but I will blow up like a little balloon. Also out here in Vegas, one of the great benefits is it's becoming a foodie town.
It very much
many
is.
Of the many 5-star restaurants, but then all of these local spots and just the blend of cultures with infusions and cuisines and different countries. It makes it hard to not go out and eat all the time, especially down here where we're recording in the Arts District, where there's 15 restaurants right around.
It's right here. You can walk to all of it. I mean, if I were you, I was living down here, I would be fucking like,
it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Drinking. I would be binge eating every day. I always tell people, I'm like, I don't really mix my alcohols anymore. I just mix my carbs.
Carb queen, carb slut. What's this? Carb slut.
Carb slut.
Hey, I love it. So slaying life and slaying carbs every day at a time.
Yep.
Are there any other upcoming plans or announcements for Anna Storm, or maybe a third hashtag that she's going to abide by?
This is a great idea because I've been thinking. I feel like I need like a Anna Storm 2.0. Like it needs to be like the. Maybe, I don't know. There needs to be another hashtag. And if you could help me. No,
all right, guys, we're going to crowdsource a third hashtag. Maybe like slay. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've come up with like slaycation. Like,
slaycation.
when I go on vacation, I'm always like, I'm going on a slaycation. Like that shit, like slaytanic.
Do you slay Las Vegas? Do you ever go out on the strip? Do you go out to the clubs or anything?
Honestly, people always like, think I'm like so like annoying because the strip is like my favorite part of it. I know that's so cheesy because it's like touristy, but maybe it's because I love like getting dressed up. Like this is pretty dressed down for me, but like normally I'm pretty extra. So I love the strip and I like pool parties a lot. I don't really love like going to nightclubs as much anymore, but pool parties still love me a good
pool parties have always been a favorite.
Yeah.
So what is extra for Anna Storm then? Are you somebody who wears like super lavish clothing, very bright,
very
vibrant colors,
very out there? Like you see these sunglasses, they're kind of yeah. I mean, this is toned down, very toned down for me. But normally, like blinged out like rhinestone boots, just really bright. I wear a lot of fur, like sometimes fur with like a cutout, like one piece. Like I'm just over the top. That's just me.
I love it. I love people who are over the top because I'm very similar with that. So tell me what's next on the agenda then? Any more songs? You did mention one more movie.
There's a shit ton of songs that I don't have released yet. I did also, I recently finished a record with, do you remember the rapper P.D. Pablo?
Yeah. We were listening to, I was just at a wedding this last week and we were listening to that.
That's
funny.
Awesome. Yeah.
You recorded a track with them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I know quite a few people,
That's awesome. What was that experience like?
It was pretty awesome. Like, the one thing is I wanted, it's on one of my songs that's not out yet. It's actually probably my favorite song ever. Even if it wasn't me, I'm just obsessed with this song. Like I'll be like, even if it was another artist, I'd love this song. But, I approached him, like he was following me on Instagram and I approached him if he wanted to like do a verse for my song for like the remix. And he was so cool about it. And, we were talking on FaceTime and stuff. And he came out with like fucking 2 versions of a verse, like in fucking an hour. This dude's like a beast.
Wow.
He's very underrated because he's very talented.
Freak a Leak, P.D. Pablo.
Yeah, no, I mean like
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah. So
Anna, we are coming up on an hour already. It's flown by. I have one final question for you. Same question I ask everyone as they exit. What does Las Vegas mean to you?
Las Vegas means to me Las Slagus.
Ooh, she slid that one in there.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like you come here, you slay, you just go all out, you just fucking prance around the strip and you're next to no clothes with your fucking sunglasses on and you take no prisoners and you just do everything your way. It's just the way I am, you just live life, you slay life.
Hashtag Las Slagus. We
Slagus.
found the third one and we didn't even have to crowdsource it.
I know, that's just wow. I'm my own crowdsource.
where do I send all of the listeners and those who are watching on YouTube to learn about you, follow you along your journey? Anything you'd like to mention?
Yeah, of course. So you can firstly follow me on Instagram at It's Anna Storm. That's at ITS Anna Storm. And you could find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/AnnaStormSlayLife. Find me on TikTok at It's Anna Storm. You could find me on YouTube, also Anna Storm. Find my music, Spotify, Anna Storm. And, just maybe if you want, you can send me a DM. And if you're a sexy dude, maybe I'll hit you back. No, if you're not too thirsty.
Hey, she knows what she wants. She is a woman of power and a woman of consistency. Anna, thank you for coming on. I'm so thankful that you could stop by here along your busy tour and that you still have Vegas as your home, because
definitely I'm not going to give this place up,
Never can. I'm born and raised out here, and I still find it hard to even think about moving to other places because there's so many benefits out here.
There are. It's just really hot.
It's fucking incredible. Well, Anna, thank you for doing this. Maybe we'll do it sometime in the future, but I'm looking forward to that song with P.D. Pablo and everything else that you're going to produce. And I'm going to have to watch that Anna Nicole Kidman video on
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith. I'm going to have to find that and watch it and give you a shout out to all the viewers and listeners. So thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.